This is Paradigm Shift TV. This is England. This is the world. We talk on occasion to people who change the world. When they go out and talk and hopefully Foster Gamble will be coming to places around the world where we can talk to you, every one of you, and tell you the truth about what's happening to the planet, about how we can change it. We can't afford to just continue to go down the same course, down to the same rat hole, our sewage dump. I mean, we're being intoxicated, not with liquor, but with illusions that change your mind, change the course of your life, or bring you closer to death without ever enjoying anything for your children. You got to reach out and touch. Hopefully, God willing, we'll have a chance to have Foster come to, well, maybe your community with us talking and you watching a picture called Thrive. It's not going to be a lot of money. It's, maybe 8-10 pounds. It's going to be reasonable. The fact is, you really can't afford to just simply go on continuing down the same course. If you're going in the wrong direction, somebody or something's going to have to wake you up. God help us if we don't wake up. If we don't incite a revelation, and an awakening is what's happening around the world. There's a movement called Thrive. We'll be talking to Foster Gamble. We're going on the same course, and we're going down pretty much the same road. We're trying to enlighten people. We're doing that on our own. When did you first make the decision that you had to do something? You simply couldn't sit back on your backside and continue to say nothing or speak up. How old were you?
It was really when I left college. I found out at that time that I was going to inherit some money from my grandparents that would give me some choice over what I did with my life and be able to help some people along the way. And I was a filmmaker. I had just created the filmmaking department at Princeton when I was there because they didn't have one, and I really wanted to make films, so I persuaded the administration to give me and another guy enough money to buy a couple of old movie-olas and some 16mm Bolexes. And so I was making films, but when I graduated I realized I didn't have anything to say that was worth all that time and money and hassle to make a feature film. So what I was really interested in is what was in the way of our thriving. So I looked around in the world and saw a lot of loving, creative people, and I saw us destroying the environment. I saw us invading Cambodia for no good reason that I could understand, under the threat of nuclear holocaust. So I said to my friends, okay, I'm going to go out and find out what's in the way of humanity succeeding, living, loving on a healthy planet in harmony with nature and with one another. And if I figure out what's going on behind the scenes that's keeping us from doing that and find some reasonable ways out, then that's when I'll make the film that people were expecting me to go to Hollywood and make feature films. So I thought it would take a few years. I didn't know it would take 40, but finally Thrive is the result.
Join the club, brother. Join the club. A filmmaker has to have something to say. I mean, there's guys that go out there with a camera and some film and a tripod and some lights, and they make stuff, and they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're hunting for something to do. But you found it out at the age of what?
I was probably 22 at the time. But it took me a long time to find what I was looking for, because as you well know, Anthony, you don't get it from the corporate media. You don't get it from traditional schools. So I had to find the teachers, find the alternative media, find the whistleblowers, and do just a lot of reading, a lot of thinking, a lot of talking to people who knew more than I did, and try to put the pieces together. And I felt that was really my mission. I've always been what Buckminster Fuller calls a comprehensivist. I like to find a lot of the pieces and see how they cohere. So I really felt in Thrive that was my mission, which Kimberly and I shared, was to connect the dots. And
now Kimberly is your wife. We're pointing to a picture of her right now.
She's my dear, beloved wife and my creative partner. She was the producer and director of Thrive and the co-writer, and really my sole partner in not only in life but in my creative endeavors. So she is fully informed about what's going on in the world, and it just brings a wonderful touch to communicating about both the challenges and the opportunities to people all over the world.
I might even say she brings a beautiful touch. You know, when I do a piece, it's not really made for women. It's made really for men. It's hard evidence. And when we take a look at films that are out there that address the issues, sometimes people don't get into any evidence at all. It's just illusion or confusion. And by the time the documentary is over, not only do they not know what to do, but they are confused. And your Thrive endeavor is telling people not only what's wrong, but what they can do to change the world.
Well, you know, Anthony, in 2007, we were already several years into making Thrive when airplanes started coming out of Monterey and dumping unknown chemicals on everyone in Monterey and Santa Cruz County. Birds started falling out of the sky, fish started washing up on the shore, bees, children started being taken to the hospital, chemically sensitive people started getting sick and having to stay indoors. And they wouldn't even tell us what they were spraying. They said, oh, this is to prevent a holocaust of agricultural damage created by a little tiny brown apple moth that at that time was creating no damage whatsoever. So we became very suspicious, and people were afraid and running around trying to figure out what to do. And so Kimberly suggested that we get the leaders of people who were being active on this issue together in our living room and teach them what we call the 12-sector model, the whole systems model for going about solving critical problems. And so we did that. We had 30 people in our living room a few days later, taught them this model, and then 2 days later we had a town hall meeting in Santa Cruz. Hundreds of people attended, and we had 12 tables set up so that people who got motivated by what was going on could sign up according to their passion and their skills, whether it was justice or environment or health or arts or environment.
But then you were talking really about Agenda 21, the confiscation of property in this place. There are thousands of people who are under the guns of government. So you were addressing the attack.
Well, we were addressing the specific attack that was coming literally on aerial bombardment. People started getting organized according to this 12-sector model. The first thing we did, because this really relates to the whole aerosol spraying, the chemtrail, the geoengineering stuff that I know you're very committed to doing something about as well. But this was even lower level and more direct spraying. But it's an example. The reason I'm telling this story is an example of what we can do on a global scale that can be very effective. Because the first thing we did was petition the governor to stop the spray and at least tell us what was in it, which we finally did. And of course, as I suspected, there was a cocktail of 10 chemicals, of which 6 were toxic. There were mutagens, there were carcinogens, and there were, of course, endocrine disruptors. So
I've got people who are looking at this show don't know what endocrine disruptors are. I mean, so tell us.
So those 3 things, they can change your genes, it can give you cancer, and it can make you infertile, which I knew fit in with an agenda that I've been studying and you've been studying for a long time. Most people hadn't, so I had to be very careful what I was saying, But so I could just communicate with people about, well, obviously there's something very dangerous going on here. Let's band together and find out what it is. So we formed these different committees. Kimberly and I worked on the Follow the Money, the economics committee. It only took us a couple of weeks on the internet to trace this money back all the way, as I feared, to the President of the United States. This was a personal executive order from George Bush Jr., getting up to $1 billion over a 10-year program from the Homeland Security, running it through the USDA, and then going local with the California Department of Food and Agriculture, and intending, without any consultation or permission, to spray 7 million people in 11 counties in Northern California for up to 10 years with toxic spray.
10 years of spraying the people of Northern California with poisons and taking money from the people
to do it,
to kill the people or control the people, to bring them down. We're talking about the same George Walker Bush who laid nude in that coffin over there at the Skull and Bones. You've read the book with Dr. Sutton. It's been all over. We're talking about the same man, the President of the United States of America.
And it's important, of course, to understand that in the same way that that program was going on under Republican administration under him, the whole chemtrail program is still going on under a Democratic administration. We need to get past this veil of this cockfight, this old political polarity, where we're duped into thinking that some political administration is going to fix this when they all work for Wall Street, but really for the international central banking system and the individual families in the secret societies that are actually running that whole show because they run the money scam.
So we're talking about an evilarchy, so to speak, a one-party system in the United States of America who goes to the polls every 4 years and they elect the same people. Well, I mean, it's different faces, but the same program. Yeah. You're saying then we're facing a worldwide, or at least a national program that is designed to use us, sort of, I use the word sheeple. You may find it offensive. I find it offensive if you're going down and you're following these people to the slaughter yard. I don't want to see this happen. How can we change it? How can we, with Thrive, how can we get the information to change it?
Well, this brings me to the punchline of the George Bush Northern California spray story, which was when we used this model and started communicating with counties from all the way from Monterey up to Napa County through San Francisco, Berkeley, Marin, and so forth. The long and short of it was that we stopped a $1 billion dangerous spray program in 6 months with about $30,000 to $40,000. Why? Because the people found out what was going on. So that's the key. You first got to find out the truth about what's going on. And then secondly, you've got to coordinate so that we had the scientists, bringing out the true data about no damage and how a polyculture, organic farming system will solve the problem that won't be solved with these pesticides. And we had lawyers filing lawsuits, and we had media people doing media campaigns, and the artists were creating the flyers, and it was just an absolute blitz that ended up being very successful. And through a Freedom of Information Act request, we got some internal emails from the CDFA. And one of them said, we expected some resistance from Santa Cruz, but we had no idea how well organized it would be. So now blow this up to a global scale. They're putting fluoride in the water.
People are told, we go to the grocery stores and say, this product has fluoride. I know that it is rat poison, but people are led to believe it. Who's questioning it? I mean, you mean you've got a handful of people to make a change? You're actually making a change. You said you got the governor to come in and you got them to back off. I mean, people aren't accustomed, they're not used to doing something politically and having a change result. They said, well, let's let George do it. Let Thorne do it.
Well, one of the keys was that we didn't do it politically. We did it as a human uprising, and especially once the women got involved and realized that their children were being sprayed from the skies with toxic poisons, that's when my confidence went through the roof, and within a few months it was done, because I haven't seen a more powerful force than women protecting life once they know what's really going on. So when people catch on to the various dumbing downs, the poisonings, the fake wars, the false flag operations, and so forth, that are being done to people in order to, cull the herd, to control them and so forth, this same sort of model can be used in a global, decentralized way that allows people to organize by sector, whether it's environment or media or education, by issue, whether it's chemtrails or police state or whatever, but then to stay coordinated in their community so that they can share their different skills and resources. And then through our Solutions Hub on our website at thrivemovement.com, we've now created a hub where people can come and sign up their group from anywhere in the world and be able to search by sector and by issue and find out who else is working constructively on these issues worldwide, and then combine your efforts. Share best practices, share petitions, share lawsuits, share critical mass actions, and get it done in a way that is decentralized and therefore unstoppable.
For the average Joe and Jane, can they make a change? Can you guys who are watching this feel confident that you can make a change? Tell them how they can make a change. Because we talk amongst ourselves. Sometimes we'll go out and lecture somewhere, but amongst the regular guy and Jane, the mechanic, yes, the farmer, the waitress, how about you guys? How about them?
Well, it's a great question. We have been duped as a culture. We've been indoctrinated through our schools and political system to think that the individual is basically helpless, whereas it's actually only individuals which ever change anything, because an individual needs to realize what's going on and take a stand for it before anything happens at all. And then when that individual inspires others and they get informed and they create organizations and link together with those, you go throughout history, any major changes are created starting with the individual and then moving into small groups and into larger networks, and especially with the electronic technology that's available now. The individual has an absolutely unprecedented power once they know the truth and once they have some tools to collaborate effectively with others.
Foster, we've got people in Serbia. We've got friends in Serbia. We've got friends in Monrovia. We've got friends in Spain. We've got a lot of friends in England. We're going to go out and lecture from place to place to place. What's the possibility of getting, somebody like yourself with some background in this film to come out? Could I invite you to come out on stage and lecture with me throughout England, through Sweden, through Serbia?
Well, I really appreciate the invitation, because I have tremendous respect for the research and independent media work that you have been doing for decades. I can't commit to doing that kind of tour with you at this moment, but I am going to Australia on a Thrive Solutions Summit tour in November, and we've got a ton of invitations from Europe, from the Netherlands, from the...
well, I hope that you're going to save some of your engagements, sort of an open card for the people of England and Scotland and Wales, and we'll go from
that's just
Bournemouth
what I was starting to say. We're
Bristol.
getting numerous invitations from Great Britain as well, and I really look forward to coming over there, and I hope it's going to be next spring.
We've got the Constitution Party over there. People who want to come forth with a different direction other than the one that Cameron and Blair and God knows all of those terrible people that told us all of those great things and brought us into absolute depravity. It's terrible. So we might get an opportunity to see you in person, live, if we can have a Thrive Revelation.
I'm hoping so. We're doing everything we can to spread the word about what's really going on and about what we can do about it all over the world. So I look forward to being able to be in Europe and being in Sweden and Norway and Serbia and Czechoslovakia and England, as well as I'm looking forward to going to South America. There are so many billions of people waking up all over the planet right now. And fortunately, though you and I can't be everywhere, with the electronic media like this and with the town hall technologies that are coming in and so forth, the world is getting connected in a way where we can experience one another's presence, not just to give lectures and show movies and so forth, even though that can be an important part of it, but it's to actually interact, hear the best ideas from everyone, and organize in a global grassroots way.
Well, the station is already asking, can we show Thrive? Can we show a bit or a piece of it? And I said, well, I can probably get Foster to come on camera, and we're doing that today. But I'd like to go, still a step further. People want some guiding, some leadership, some direction.
If we base our solutions on principles, on the principles of integrity, honesty, transparency, and so forth, and freedom, honoring the individual rights of every single person on the planet as primary, then we can transcend the old political polarities, which are just fighting over who's going to get to dominate everybody else and distracting us and gridlocking us from the real solutions.
Well, wait a minute. You're talking about honesty and integrity,
right,
and ingenuity, and awarding genius, and awarding those who come up with the ideas. Yeah. That isn't allowed. This is the United States of America. Are you in the same country?
Well, if it were allowed, then people would be difficult to control, and that's the whole point. If people are allowed to actually create and voluntarily exchange, actually live the life they want to live as long as they don't violate anyone else, then we can be in a world of creativity and abundance and prosperity and health that we can truly hardly even imagine right now. And that's why we're being suppressed by the few people who are sick enough to want to try to control everybody else's life, because they are actually afraid of that freedom, of the love, of universal prosperity.
These vampirians, they suck the blood of society. They don't create things, they steal from those who create things. They don't make things, they steal from those who make things. We have an Illuminati agenda.
And I feel tremendous compassion for those beings, because think how sick and separated and desperate they must be to actually be behaving like that on a daily basis. And at the same time that I feel that compassion and understanding, they have no place in a position of authority over anyone else. They are dangerous to individuals, but now with the kind of technologies that are on the planet now, they're literally dangerous to and threatening the very survival of life as we know it. Yeah.
People say, well, God forgive them. I said, no. Jesus was around and said, God forgive them, for they know not what they do. I'm not saying God forgive them, because they know exactly what they do. They know exactly what they've done, and they know exactly what they're about to do. And Thrive returns the power from them, from they, to us, the people. And really, what this film is all about in part 2 is about you. It's about you. The first portion of this was really about us, what we were doing, how we were joining, how this thing is coming together from all sides of the planet. And there are people that are standing up and speaking out and reaching out and touching and feeling, for God's sakes, feeling. How can you live as a woman and know that this crap from the death dumps are being dropped on your children, your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother? When is it going to come to an end? And I'm asking this. When is it coming to an end? You who are listening to this show, you can start by taking a look at this film. Yeah. And getting other people to come to Paradigm Shift. Go to aircrap thrivealist.org, go to commoncrime.net, go to ourenglanduk.com. We're around the world. We're around the world. We need this in every language in every nation, and we need it now. We need your help to do some of the translations. And if somebody makes this thing in Sinhalese or in Urdu, I don't think you're going to have any problem coming to us and saying, can we use some of it? Yes, on my part, yes.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. We came out the first day on the internet with Thrive in 10 languages. Now 10 more cultures have come to us and said, can we subtitle it in our language? And that would Portuguese and Hindi and Urdu and Greek and Israeli and so forth. So it's getting into so many cultures, and through things like Anthony's work and through things like Thrive, literally millions of people are waking up all over the world. Just from Thrive alone, in the last 8 months, over 6 million people have seen it. When we created this Solutions Hub just 7 weeks ago, there are already over 250 groups that have signed up on this hub to link together and share best practices.
Well, we're going to take a look at the bottom of the screen. Something's coming out in your language to you. We've got a friend, Victor Camacho. He's with Desvelado Television and Radio, and it's going out in Spanish around the Western Americas. I'm talking about Guatemala and Mexico and El Salvador. We need it in the various dialects as well. There are people who are Indians, Western Indians, and they are people with hearts and souls and children, and they're being attacked by this evilarchy. We've got a chance to get out of this thing. Give us the address in English. How do we do this?
Well, people ask me where I travel all over the world now with Thrive. As people are waking up to the dire predicament that we're in this global domination agenda, of course, the natural question, once you let it in and feel what the implications of that are, is what can I do as an individual? And here's what I recommend to people. First of all, go inside before you go out. Go inside and write down what you think your own purpose is. Then go to the thrivemovement.com website and go to the Solutions Hub and use the Solutions Toolkit to identify what sector am I most interested in. What level of engagement draws me the most? Is it meeting immediate needs, or is it working on systemic change, or working on the consciousness shift? And then pick your critical issue or two, and then sign up on that hub or organize with the people in your community. And then through our hub, you'll be able to link with literally millions of people around the world and other major movements by sector, by issue. And then you can relax into simply following your calling and using your skills, knowing that you can be in touch with the whole system of an awakening humanity, and that the other areas are going to be handled by responsible, creative people as well. So you don't have to go out and save the world by yourself. Just respond to your own calling and let yourself coordinate with others in a way that feels good to you. That was our intention, and it seems to be happening fast.
We're not the owners of the castle. We don't have the keys to the kingdom, folks. We need your films, your clips, your information, your data, your input.
That's right.
It's you and us. We're together. We're working together. Sure, you can donate some monies over to aircrap.org or commoncrime.net, because we need your monies to edit these films. And don't just simply burn them off and don't pay any attention to the filmmaker. Thrive needs to get going and needs some support. How do they support you? We need support. We're begging for monies to edit these things.
Yeah, if people are asking what they can do, you can support Anthony's work. You can go to thrivemovement.com and you can either buy DVDs or make a contribution to sustain the movement. There are endless things that you can do on a personal level that don't take a lot of time and money, that then join with other individuals actions that create larger groups, that create movements that can actually turn this thing around.
Okay, a lady may have $5, or maybe she's got $6. That's all she can afford. But she's got 3 kids.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be standing up for her.
Exactly.
And somebody has to be standing up for the kids.
And different people have different things to offer. Some people have a lot of time but no money. A lot of people have a lot of money but no time. Other people have no time or money, but they've got talents that they can contribute. So this is where the synergy of humanity, as the planetary immune system is waking up.
Let us join together. Let's not fight. We don't have to fight each other.
Yeah.
We got enough of the banksters. We got those guys. Let's stop that thievery. And
even amongst the banksters, people are waking up. There are the would-be controllers at the top, but then there are literally hundreds of thousands, millions of people in industries like banking who have no idea what the agenda is that they have been serving. And as people are waking up, they're coming forward as whistleblowers.